Hurt. Oh, definitely lost water. So my jumping back to horror stories. Well, you know what? Not to say that I think I'm one of the viewers. I like to make sure at least some of my settings are working. I always sign on to view my videos, but so not that 11 of you aren't important enough. But I'll give it a second, give everyone an opportunity back, and I'll tell you a quick story. Did you already go over there? I'll give you a chance to do a couple chores for your mom when you get home, okay? But you can't, no more of this. You're going to bed earlier, okay? Little stinker. No, he doesn't stay. I know he's not missing school on purpose. He freaks out when but he's gotta get up on his own. Hey, if that was me when I was a kid and I missed school because I overslept like that, you think I would get that type of treatment? Well, if it was my stepmother, I'd get a slap across the mouth. She'd knock the taste out of my mouth. But if it was my stepdad, he wouldn't. He would. I'd just get. I'd get the look like, boy, and that would be my warning. And it wouldn't be a threat. He wouldn't. He wouldn't hurt me, but it would get. It would be. It would be a threat that I wouldn't want. You know, because I knew a very strict. I knew a very strict grounding was upcoming, and I wouldn't want that. It would be weeks, and I don't like getting grounded, and so I wouldn't let it happen again. Basically, I got grounded. I made sure it didn't happen. He's let this happen multiple times because I always give in because I don't want to be too hard on him. I do think I'm easy. I always let him get away with things because screw it. I can't remember where the. I don't hang out here because this is kind of a glitchy area. I mean, I'm just kidding. Kind of a glitchy area. There's too many sharp to get hung up. When I get to 50 viewers, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you the my maternal grandfather. Tell you what he did, which it's kind of a correlation if you're watching. Oh boy, why don't you why don't you text? Can you text Mr. Rick or Mama K? Huh? Here, here. Just tell him it's you. I just mess up. Yeah, Streamlabs may be in like Pacific time zone for all I know, so I may have to wait. I don't know. May have to wait till 10, 11. I don't know. Oh, shoot. Gotta go get the watering jug or Miracle Grow or whatever. Of course, it's going to be a one-time use at this rate. Unless I can just beat them off with this wonder weapon fast enough until it pops. Okay, well, I got another one. At least they do. Get up fast. I'll just stay away from it. They're going to keep tearing it up. What did I get her? Something tear it up. I guess it was just plant food. Gee, oh, it was a Casimir. That hit. There we go. I only got macchiato. Go flip this to legendary, or I kill the bear. Hey, anyone want to bet that this will be a Tessie road course? You would have lost. All right, prop. Yep, there we go. 2 more shots. Dead. Look at that. No misfires. Just a bunch of dead bodies. 6 more, and I'll tell you the story. 6 more, and then let me get 6 subscribers to my Kick channel. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. That would be impossible because like 49 of you are going to be bot accounts or digital artists. Any luck? He's Mr. Rick's coming. Okay. Okay. One more, and I'll tell you this story. I guess we started around 8:50, so 15 more minutes and restart the stream again just so I am following my soon to be promoter's advice. Really, I shouldn't. I'm gonna stop streaming to YouTube because I'm not supposed to be streaming there. I'm only supposed to be putting up short there. I forgot about that. I'm actually hurting my YouTube. There. my YouTube channel is really struggling. It's just because I'm not managing it very well. It's not really a. It's. I need to start with YouTube Shorts. Okay, there we go. We got our. All right, so like I said, I never, even my dad didn't hear anything from his dad about his war service. He was a man of few words, and it was really sad. My grandfather, he raised my dad in a one-bedroom apartment in the back of a gas station. Don't be sad, girl. I have an American bulldog. She's only supposed to, really, the females are only supposed to be about 90, but she is, and I mean this, she is one muscle, and she's about 110 pounds, and she is a solid muscle. I don't know, and I'm not feeding her steroids or anything. She is muscular. You know that song Popular? Whoa. Blew his head off and then it procced. That was crazy. Alright, got another taker. Love how that's why I put FJ on it. In case zombies walking in front of me. Still goes to the bear. Feed the bear. And zombies, we feed the bear. There we go. Kill it? No. No way. Yes, I did. Huh. Look at that. Anyway, so yeah, he raised my father in a one bedroom. Well, it was my father and four girls. He had four sisters. So, and then of course their mother. One bedroom room behind a gas station. But the sad part, so rough life, but he owned a gas station. The sad part was he washed his hands in kerosene, died of lymphoma, and and had to get the grease off. While he was fixing cars all day. Didn't have to, but they didn't have the orange hand wash. So I have pictures of him holding me, but I never got to meet him. But on my maternal grandfather is all right. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not running. Is there another one? Going quick. On my maternal grandfather, his war service was during the Korean conflict. He was a fighter pilot. And I said that it has parallels to It Welcome to Derry. So if you know the hold on, let me get the name. The Leroy Hanley. Oh, yeah. So he plays the Leroy Hanley character. Welcome to Derry. Who is Will Hanley, the little boy's father. And so, which Leroy, he's a U.S. Air Force major, and who was um, Will, who played um, in the movie It, the character, if you remember, um, Mike Hanlon, his parents die in a fire, and actually, it's Will who is father who dies in the I don't want, I'm not giving anything away because that's actually not something that you find out in the show. It's a little Easter egg, and um, so Will is yeah. So but in the show they tell you that Leroy was a fighter pilot during the Korean conflict who was captured, taken as a POW, and who escaped. My maternal grandfather was a fighter pilot during the Korean conflict, who was shot down, who was taken as a POW, and who escaped. Was briefly taken as a POW and who escaped. And that was actually pretty common because the North Koreans were desperate for soldiers, and they would use teenagers as soldiers, and which, I mean, escaping was possible. And it was something that would eventually haunt my grandfather for the rest of his life. Because in order to escape, they wouldn't let you do it. You had to force your way to freedom. It was something that, it was something that I love so much. She's so sweet. That was something that just I always felt it was just, and he so when he got out of when he was able to gain his freedom, he gave the rest of his life to the community. He took over not only to the community but to children. Um, he was a major at the local Air Force base, and he continued to serve the rest of his life. But also he took over at the local Parks and Rec and ran the local baseball league for the rest of his life. He ran the local Parks and Rec baseball league, and he would, he would organize all of the charity events and try to do everything he could, trying to help out kids and kids out of trouble. And it was just, and then it was really sad because then towards the end his kidneys failed him, and I just really hated to see it because the last few times that he came over, he wasn't the most pleasant person to be around, and I just think I don't know if he felt like it was something that he was being punished for, but I know it wasn't. And I don't want to get in it. One of my rules is I never speak of religion. Okay, I feel like it backs people into corners, and it's one of my rules. So don't feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm not. I'm talking about how he felt, and I feel like he was being hard on himself, too hard on himself, and but he just wasn't. He was a very unpleasant person to be around, and I didn't get much of an opportunity to say much to him towards the end. And I can't even remember the last time I saw him because of that. And I'm not trying to play a victim. He was the victim because he was the one who passed away, clearly. All right, I think it's time to switch field upgrades, and then it's about time to level this up. I think I'm gonna get these last 2 kills and then end the stream again. I'm gonna end this actual game because I'm gonna get this camo. Switch guns. Start a new stream. Switch guns. All right. Hopefully this has got 2 right here. Nice bit proc for me. So I'll get out of my way. Well, that's not happening. Oh. Yep, there we go. Right? Or was that just the bear blowing up? Good. Oh, there we go. Let me go change over here, kill this bear. Come on, bear. Haha. Now you're dead. Alright, should be able to exfil. Scorched and a couple. And like I said, one of the previous things, the key to these, don't let them touch it. Don't touch it! And it worked. Grabbing. Step Brothers. Don't touch my drum set. That reference. It'd be Exfil, yeah. And I'll see if I can get a knife kill here. I don't know if it. Nah, I didn't give it to me. It's okay. All right, I'm gonna restart the stream.